It's me, Jenisha Stanley again, and today I'm going to review the book I Survived, the Eruption of Mount St. Helens, 1980. This book was written by Lauren Tarshis and illustrated by Scott Dawson. This book has 94 pages and 16 chapters. So, what is this book all about? Well, this book is about an 11-year-old teenager named Jessie Marlowe, including two twins, Eddie and Sam, who are both friends of Jessie. And they found themselves one day in the deadliest and most destructive volcanic eruption in the history of the U.S. Ash, rock, and lots of other stuff is around. Will Jess and her friends escape in time or not? That's what this story is all about. Remember, this book has fake characters, but the whole giant disaster is real. And also, this eruption killed 57 people, like some photographers and even a scientist. So, that eruption also wiped out hundreds of square miles of property. And also, that is equal to $1 billion of land gone. Just Sam and Eddie, they were all at school whenever this girl named Missy said, "Skeleton woman is real." Whenever Jess and Sam were together, Jess said, "Skeleton woman is not real." Sam said, "She's totally made up." Whenever Missy said, they wanted to find out if Skeleton woman was real or not. Missy said. So then they went around the mountain, Mount St. Helens, then went all the way to the shack. Sam said, "Let's just take the picture." Before Jess was able to take the picture, a crazy noise came from inside the shack. They had to get out of there. But then something that smelled like rotten eggs came. A gas called sulfur. That gas smelled disgusting. It smelled just like rotten eggs. Sam said, "Isn't that what sulfur smells like? Is that coming from the mountain?" Eddie asked. Then the answer came a second later. Boom! A giant explosion came. Jess saw a giant hole about 10 feet deep in there. Then she yelled, "Jump!" She yelled, "Jump!" Whenever they all jumped in, they were tunneling in. Then ash started to fall, like warm snowflakes. They hit Jess. An hour later, the whole eruption stopped. Then the tree was moved by a giant rock. Then she could finally see again. Then she saw the giant burns. Whenever she could climb out of the tree, there was a gap she could see right through, and it was easy enough for her to climb out of the hole to see. She had a perfect view of St. Helens. So Jess looked around. The forest wasn't a forest anymore. It was a graveyard of fallen trees. More than 200 miles of wilderness were destroyed. And Mount St. Helens, where was its sparkling peak? It wasn't there anymore. What took its place was a giant mouth vomiting up smoke. Jess had never seen anything so hideous. So she shut her eyes and turned away. Whenever she took off her sweatshirt, laid it on the ground near her friends, they were both shivering hard. Whenever she said, "I'll run off for some help." So they had a secret handshake they made up in kindergarten. So Jess stretched out her arm and she put Sam's and Eddie's onto there. And she said, "All for one and one for all," really quietly. Then she ran off to go find some help. Whenever there was a helicopter going in circles, Jess waved her arms, but the pilot didn't see her. It circled again a minute later. Whenever she did it, then the pilot still didn't see her. How was she going to get the pilot to go and see her? Whenever Jess got an idea, she snapped a branch from a stick, and then whoosh, whoosh, she swept up the ground to make a giant ash cloud. Then she waved her arms. Then a man waved out and had a bullhorn and said, I'm coming for you. Whenever the thwack, thwack of the helicopter got lower as it got closer to Jess. Whenever it landed, the man was just about to guide Jess into the copter when he was like, "My friends, I can't leave them here. They're hurt." "Where are they?" Then Jess waved at her arm and tried to find out where she was, and she said, "Somewhere out there." Then they both got in the helicopter. Then thwack, thwack, thwack. It was looking everywhere. Whenever Jess saw a flash of red, a familiar red, her sweatshirt, her friends were right there. Then thwack, thwack, thwack. Then Jess said, "There's my friends." Then the thwack, thwack of the helicopter slowed down as they went closer to Sam and Eddie. They were found. So Jess went back to her mom whenever Sam and Eddie were brought to a hospital in Portland, Oregon. 2 months later. So Jess and her mom were preparing the apartment for the whole weekend because they were going to have visitors. There were two familiar faces. Sam and Eddie, they were both there. There were two smiling green eyes, two buzz cut identical heads, and 10,000 freckles. They were all so happy to be together again. That's the end of this story. Everyone go and read this very interesting book to learn more about the eruption of Mount St. Helens and an amazing story about 3 kids who have escaped the most dangerous and destructive eruption in the U.S. Friends, thanks for watching my videos. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel to stay tuned in on my new videos. I'll fly over to my next video. See you there.